is why my grandma's passing of cancer have made me want to become a nurse. Growing up, I always dreaded parent-teacher conferences because I knew what was coming every single time. And it was always, Savannah's such a mother hen. And I never understood why they always made it sound like it was such a bad thing, because I just wanted to make sure that my classmates were okay and that they were following the rules. What was so wrong about helping my peers? And I never understood it. I think I was just placed in life to be helpful. 608,366. That's a pretty significant number. I'll let you sit with that for a second. In 2022, 608,366 people died from cancer. In April of 2014, at 10 years old, I was in Walmart with my dad, and he was reaching for a turtle pecan pie, and I asked him, "Dad, how do you think Grandma's doing?" And he said, "I don't know, I haven't heard anything, so I guess she's doing okay." And we headed for checkout and the truck, and we made it to the first stoplight when his phone started ringing, and it was his stepdad. And all I heard was, "Hello? Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll be on my way." And my dad, at a safe speed, but also a very fast speed, drove home, packed as fast as he could, and headed for Missouri that night. Because my grandma was passing away. She had oral cancer, and they told her, "Hey, if you stop smoking, you'll be cured. We can fix it." She didn't stop. It spread to her lungs, her brain, before it became incurable. Between 2010 and 2014, according to the CDC, about 282,000 women died of lung cancer. That night, in the corner of my room at 10 years old, I sat by myself. And I remember feeling so small and so confused. I didn't understand what it meant. I didn't understand what my grandma dying meant. I didn't understand what death meant at 10. I knew I was upset. I knew how badly my heart hurt. But I also knew that if I ever met another person, I would do my best to make sure that I could help them feel better. In August of 2019, I was a freshman in high school, and there were so many things that were going on during that time. I had just gotten my license. I was working my first job. I was being bullied very, very badly, and I was also at my back to school night. And I was with my mom in my English comp class, and for the third time, my mom's stepmom had breast cancer. And when we were told that she had breast cancer for the third time, I remember thinking, okay, she's proven 2 other times that she's brave and resilient, so she's gonna be okay. She can do it a third time, and it'll be fine. Before I knew it, she was placed on hospice. And before I knew it, sitting in that English comp room, my mom looked over and whispered, "We have to go." And I remember walking out into the hallway, and I stopped in my tracks, and I just looked out the window, because I did not want to go to the house where most evenings I was smelling brownies, and most mornings I was smelling bacon. The drive home was pretty silent, and again I felt so little. Only almost as little as I felt at 10 years old sitting in the corner of my room 5 years before. I was now the girl that little me wanted to hug and to help. I knew death, and I understood that I would never see Maggie again. This further solidified my desire to help people, and it was becoming more clear on how I wanted to do it. In June of 2023, I decided to get my CNA license. Since then, I've worked in numerous nursing homes. I worked more cases than I could count of losing my residents. Each resident that I lose, they take a piece of me with them. But each resident that I lose, I feel like I gain a piece of my grandma's back. With the history of cancer in my family, I don't think oncology is in my future. It's a very sore spot for me. But I think the beginning, the first few moments of life are so beautiful. And I'm not naive in thinking that every birth is going to be smooth sailing. I know I will have angel babies, but I know I will have some incredibly amazing residents and some really great grandmas taking care of those babies until their parents can. So, that is how the loss of my grandparents have made me want to become nurses.